Today on Fletch Talks, author FJ Lennon. School Crossing is an intense drama about a retired police detective who takes a last stand against school shootings by placing himself in front of his local elementary school, upsetting the community and the political forces around him. School Crossing not only asks the important questions, it offers real, workable solutions to the recurrent tragedy of school shootings. School Crossing, in paperback and for Kindle at Amazon.com. Or save 15% when you buy this or any other Fletcher Roden paperback from FletcherRoden.com. First are the Kane Pryce books. These are The Devil's Gate and Soul Trapper.
Right.
And this is, these seem to be your flagship releases at the moment. Kane Pryce is sort of a cult detective, is he not?
Yeah, he's a paranormal investigator / lead guitarist / person who needs to be in the Betty Ford clinic. So
he's got a lot of the earmarks of the noir detective.
yeah, very much so. The inspiration was Raymond Chandler. I love the old Marlowe books, and it was sort of to take a character that's rough around the edges and has sort of a noir personality, put him in modern times, set it against Hollywood, and it started as an iPhone app in 2008.
Did it?
So it was an audio adventure where they're one of the very early iPhone apps. So you listen to it. It was like a 3-hour long adventure where you listen to the story and made choices. Very much like an old Infocom game meets radio serial from the 40s meets an iPhone. So that's where it got its start. Yeah, it's in the App Store now. It's called Soul Trapper, and it's still up today. People still playing it. So it's very different in a lot of ways. Well, I mean, the story is similar to Soul Trapper. The story remains the same, but when you take it to a novel form, a lot of layers begin to open up. That the character evolved. He changed in the iPhone app. He wasn't a musician. That all came later once I started to turn him into a more three-dimensional character. Mm-hmm. So, but the story thread is still pretty much the same as what's in the book.
What kind of things in particular did you learn about your character as you were developing the project as a novel?
Well, the biggest thing is music. I mean, he was a guitarist. He is a guitarist in the series, and none of that existed, and was never even an idea that I had. When I started him as sort of a radio serial player or character. The whole background of his childhood. Where did he grow up? Where did he come from? What's his background? All of those things began to sort of manifest after I was able to develop him more. So it was kind of a cool experience to sort of take it to sort of have a character start to come to life himself.
Where did you come up with the idea of making him a musician, and how did that become such a prominent part of the character's profile?
I think it just came. Well, I love music. I'm not a musician, but I have a deep love of music, and I appreciate guitar a lot. I have a guitar. I can putter around on it, but I'm not good, and nor will I ever be. But I have great admiration for people who are, you included. So. I just wanted to, paranormal rock and roll kind of go hand in hand in a lot of ways, and I just saw a lot of potential to take a lot of the great urban legends and the myths of the music industry and work them into some of these stories. So that's how it got started with sort of making him a Hollywood musician.
These are 2 out of 3. Books. It's a trilogy. So
it's a trilogy. Yeah.
There's a third Kane Pryce.
Third one, I'm nearly completed with. I don't have a release date on it yet. I'm going through a lot of issues with the publisher, but it's a trilogy. Hopefully, there'll only be more after that. I have in my mind, it's either 6 or 7 books. there's an end to this. I can clearly see it, and sort of the arc and the path is probably 6 to 7 total books. So hopefully I'll be able to see it through the whole way. But it all depends.
Wow, that's interesting. The books are written in the first person present tense.
First person present tense and very terse. Very to the point. Very very, very tight sentences. It reads. The whole goal was to make something that reads very quickly, that people just can, it builds a rhythm up, and people just go with it and finish it quickly. So that was all. That was all a goal going in, and the sentences are manufactured. The whole thing is manufactured in a way that it hooks people, and then they speed along with it. That's what I was hoping for, and that seems to be what people are saying. So that's. That was a good approach.
First person present is very much the popular voice.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a consideration?
Yeah, it was. It was definitely. It's things. I mean, I like reading books that do that. So, taking it first person and putting it in present tense was something that I wanted to do. And it just felt natural. There was just something. I tried a couple of different approaches with it, and it felt more natural. And I think the iPhone game I actually wrote in first person past tense. I'm not sure. I have to go look at it. But the novel just felt very alive, like it was happening now.
Right. The Chandler books were first person past tense.
Yes.
And Dashiell Hammett too.
Yes.
And yet, even in present tense, the read is fairly comparable. I mean, what I'm sort of thinking of is, although literary fashions change, today's popular voice is remarkably similar to the narrative voice that was popular in the 1930s.
Yeah. I mean, slang aside, people are thinking the same thoughts.
Yeah.
And when they're up against the wall, they're gonna say the same things, and they're gonna feel the same things. So I think it's pretty timeless. I really do.
Next time, more with FJ Lennon. If you'd like to be a guest on Fletch Talks, drop me an email. I'm Fletcher Roden.